Okay, so now we are going to see a proof of this theorem 1.3.10, and particularly part 3 implies 1. So all these three statements are equivalent. Third one says that H is separable. Definition of separable, we know that H has countable dense set. And what we are going to prove is H has a countable orthonormal basis. So here also it has countable dense set. Here it says that we have to prove that it has countable orthonormal basis. So this orthonormal basis we are going to produce from this subset of this countable dense set. Let us see how. So 3 implies 1 is what we are looking for. So suppose H is separable, right? We assume that H is separable, and it has countable dense set, and suppose this is the dense set. So D equals to Z1 Z2, it is countable, so we can list like this: Z1 Z2 and so on is a countable dense subset of H. Now suppose if this itself is orthonormal, then we are done. This is countable orthonormal set, so that is what we want to prove. But it may not be orthonormal, it may not be even linearly independent. So what we first do, we extract a subset of this. આમાંથી અમુક એલિમેન્ટ્સ આપણે એક્સટ્રેક્ટ કરી લઈએ અને એવો linearly independent subset બનાવીએ આપણે. So let I1 be the first integer such that Zi1 is non-zero. So we first look at Z1, whether Z1 is 0 or not. Suppose Z1 is 0, then we look at Z2. Z2 suppose non-zero is, so what we call this as I1. So I1 equals to 2, and so Zi1 equals to Z2. અને જો Z1 non-zero હોય, if Z1 is non-zero, then we call I1 as 1. So Z1 equals to Zi1. So first non-zero. Why? Because we want linearly independent subset of this. Linearly independent set never contains 0. So we want first non-zero element. So I1 is the first integer so that Zi1 is non-zero. If Z1 is 0, take Zi1 as this, Z2 or Z1. So બેમાંથી એક. And then call x1, so this bracket will not be there. Call x1 as Zi1. આને આપણે x1 કહી દઈએ, whatever, either Z2 or Z1. આપણને ખબર નથી કયો 0 છે કે નહીં, but we call one of them as first one. જે આપણને નોન ઝીરો પહેલો મળે એને આપણે Zi1 કહી દઈએ અને આપણે x1 કહી દઈએ. So now what is span of x1? Span of x1, so બે કેસ છે આપણી પાસે. સપોઝ Z1 નોન ઝીરો હશે તો Zi1 is nothing but Z1 and x1 they are same. So we have span of Z1 is same as span of x1. Suppose Z1 0 હતો, Z2 was Zi1 equals to x1, so span of x1 in that case will be nothing but span of Z1 Z2 આવું લખી શકીએ. Or we can write span of because Z1 to 0 છે, 0 will never contribute anything to the span, so we can write span of Z1 up to Zi1. હવે Zi1 Z2 જ હોઈ શકે કેમ કે અહીંયા તો બે જ છે નોન ઝીરો એટલે તરત બીજો આવશે, right? So I hope this is clear. Span of x1 આગલા તો બધા suppose x1 is this Z2, તો span of x1 શું થશે? તો કે span of Z1 Z2, Z1 0 છે, it will not add anything to the span, so span of this two is nothing but span of x1. So એક first મળી ગયું non-zero. Non-zero singleton is always linearly independent. Now next what we do, now suppose Z2 આપણને મળ્યું છે, suppose this is the case, so check Z3. So Z3, if Z3 is a linear combination of, suppose Z3 આવું હોય 2x1 or 3x1, so Z3 નહીં લેવાનું. Why? Because anyway it is linear, we want linearly independent set. So this is linear combination of x1, so we don't take Z3. Suppose Z4 is some say 5 by 2 times x1. So Z4 also we don't take. Why? Because Z4 is a linear combination of x1. So the second element must be linearly independent with x1. It should not be linear combination. So Z4 ignore karo. Z5. Suppose Z5 and x1 they are alike. So then this is our I2. 5 is our I2. So Zi2 will be nothing but Z5 and that we call x2. Second આપણને આવી રીતે મળશે. So Z2 મળ્યો x1, પછી then we proceed, take the first linearly independent element, linearly independent with x1, and call it x2. So I2 be the first integer such that x1 and Zi2 are linearly independent. and now call it x2. X2 is zi2. So what will happen? Span of x1, span of x2. Span of x1 already includes this span, and after zi1 up till here, all these are linearly dependent with x1. तो linear combination x1 ના હતા, that's why we did not choose them. પહેલો linearly independent કયો આવ્યો હતો કે zi2, which we call x2. So span of x1 x2 is nothing but span of z1 up to zi2. And so now we have two elements. હવે zi next જવાનું zi2 plus 1 આ લિસ્ટમાં. Keep on going, keep on going. If this is linear combination of x1 x2, don't choose, go for next zi2 plus 2. If this one is linear combination of x1 x2 kx1 kx2 anything, don't choose. So I3 will be what? The next first integer, so that all this are linearly independent with x1 x2. Then call it zi3 and call it x3. So if I take linear combination of x1 x2 x3 span, then its span will cover up to z1 2 up to zi3. I hope I'm not clumsy or messy and this is clear. Otherwise you can pause or we can repeat. So if we continue this way for every n, we get each time next integer which is linearly independent with the previous ones. So this is a linearly independent set for every n. So n span will be x1 covers this much, then all other previous ones are linear combination of x1. So this is the first one which is nothing but x2. So if I take span of x1 x2, it covers this much. Then all other are previously linear combination of this, and xn is nothing but zin. So span of this span is same span of this set, and we have extracted out. We have selected only few of them which are linearly independent, right? Yeah. So for each stage we have this. Let me clear this. Yeah. So for each stage we have such a set, and so we have a linearly independent set. For all n, if we have this, that means we have a linear independent set x1 x2 and so on. So by Gram-Schmidt orthonormalization process, if we have a linearly independent set, we have an orthonormal set u1 u2 so that their span is same. Clear? So now we have got an countable orthonormal set, and but what we have to prove? We have to prove that it is countable orthonormal basis. We have got a countable set u1 u2 and so on, which is orthonormal, but we have to prove that it is basis. So now we have to prove that this u1 u2. So first we have got first we extracted elements from this which are linearly independent. So we have got this set x1 x2 and so on. By Gram-Schmidt process, out of this linear independent set we have got an orthonormal set, because this is countable, main set is countable, D is countable, therefore this is a subset, Li subset, which is countable. This is also countable, span is also same. Only thing which remains now is to prove that it is basis. So basis, how do we prove that this is basis? So D is this, if you recall, D is nothing but Z1 Z2 and so on. This is countable dense set. Dense means what? D closure equals to H. So this one we know, D closure equals to H. Now we also know that D is subset of span of D. This is just linear algebra. Any set is subset of span because span contains all linear combination of elements of this. So D is obviously subset of span. This you have studied in first semester linear algebra. And so D closure is subset of span of D closure. Right? But what is D closure? D closure, because D is dense, so D closure is H. And this is whatever D, this is always subset of H. Anything, this is a span, D is subset of H, span of D is also subset of H, no, the subset race. So H is subset of span of D closure, span of D closure is subset of H. That means span of D closure equals to H. Right? But then what is span of this u1 u2 by Gram-Schmidt? It is a span of x1 x2. So if I take closure on this, that means closure on this. So span of this closure equals to this. And what is span of this? This is what we have just proved. What is span of x1 x2 and so on? We have just proved that it is nothing but span of z1 z2 and zn and so on. So that is nothing but span of D closure. Right? But span of D closure equals to H, we have just proved. So what we proved, if I call this set as E, then E is an orthonormal set, and L of E closure, this is equals to H. This is what we have proved. Any orthonormal set whose closure of its span is H, that is orthonormal basis. So E is orthonormal basis. This follows from those five uh, equivalent conditions, right? L of E closure equals to H, then is orthonormal basis. This we have seen where, if you go on page number probably 25. So let me recall that. Yes, so this is the result. All those five equivalent condition, and we have here the fourth one. Yes, L of E closure equals to H, and then these two are equivalent. E is orthonormal basis. So by that, it follows that U1, U2, and so on, what we obtain is actually an orthonormal basis, right? So let us consider by an example also. So suppose in R5 we consider such a set. So suppose this countable dense set is given like this Z1, Z2, and so. So how do we choose x1 and x2 and so on? So this is, we check this one. We want linearly independent set, so we check this one. So x1, I cannot take 0 because I want linear independent set. So this is not x1. This is non-zero. So z2 is non-zero. So what I call I2, I2 equals to nothing but 2. I2 is 2, which means Zi2 is nothing but Z2. And this I call, sorry, not I2, I1. This is the first integer, right? I1, first stage. So Zi1 is Z2, and this is our x1. So now I call this as x1. Now, next, I have to check this. So I want now x2, and x2 should be linearly independent with x1 because I want a linearly independent set. So can I take this as x2? No. Why? Because you can see this is nothing but 3 times z2, 3 times this, so 3 comma 6 comma 0. So this is not linearly independent, so I cannot take this as x2. What about this and this are linearly independent, x1 and this element are linearly independent. So I got second integer I2 is this, I2 equals to 4, and so this is my zi2, this was zi1. So Zi2 equals to, and this I call x2. So I've got x2 is nothing but Zi2 is nothing but z4. Right? So this is second. Now again proceed further. So I have taken this x1, this is x2, and now x3. So can I take 1 comma 1 and so on? So I have to check whether it is possible or not. I don't think it is possible because this you can see it is z2 minus z4. So this is x1 minus x2. If I take x1 minus x2, I get 1, 1. So this is just linear combination. 1 times x1 minus 1 times x2. So this again is not linearly independent with the previous two ones. What about this one? So yes, this is linearly independent with x1 and x2. So I call this one as x3. So this is my I3. So x3 equals to z6, and this is nothing but zi3. So this is my first element, this is second, this is third, fourth one I have to check whether this is a linear combination of this or not. If it is linear combination, I skip this, I go for next one. If it is not, I take I collect that, and I make a linearly independent set like this, which is subset of this. Of course it will be countable. So once I have an Li set, I apply Gram-Smith process. So I hope this is clear. Otherwise, we can see if there is any doubt in this.